Hi guys, welcome to Invictus Motors. We have here with us this beast. It's a Mercedes S63. It's a coupe version as well, so therefore it's one of my favorites because the body shape of this car is absolutely phenomenal. I really love the design of it. It really stands out as well. So in terms of the exterior spec, let's get right to it. So it's finished in black. Quite a lot of the chrome bits are also blacked out, so it gives it a bit of a murdered out look. There's scope for further murdering out if that is somebody's cup of tea. So some of the chrome bits are the front that can be blacked out, but personally I prefer it in this much black because it gets that balance right without looking like a drug dealer. But I will let the next owner decide how much further to go. So in terms of the spec, incredibly well spec'd. The car sits on 20-inch matte black alloy wheels with a red caliper, and you can see the size of the caliper in the disc. They're absolutely huge, and for something that produces this much power, you need it. So coming around the front, it's got the LED intelligent Mercedes headlight system, which is quite useful. It lights up quite a lot of the road as well, and they also look stunning, especially when you lock the car at night with the running headlights. In terms of the front, it's very aggressive. You can see at the bottom there's lots going on, which is, I'm sure, a bit of aerodynamic, but also giving it a bit of an aggressive styling. So this here at the front is not just a badge, it also has a sensor which helps with the adaptive cruise control. So looking at objects and vehicles in front of it and then adapting the speed as you go along. That's the front camera just above it. The bonnet has got quite a few aggressive lines, which I like, because when you have a muscle car like this, you want it to stand out and stick out. This is the best angle, I think, for this car, because you can really appreciate the size of it, but also the coupe nature of this vehicle. So obviously there's no pillar in the middle, especially when you put the windows down in the summer. I mean, this car then just looks absolutely phenomenal. The other spec included in this vehicle is the soft close doors. So you open it, you don't need to bang it in, just leave it there and it will close itself pretty much. It's got the sunroof, which lets in lots of light. Again, really useful for making the cabin feel airy. The other useful features include the 360-degree cameras, blind spot monitoring, which lets you know if there's any vehicles coming in besides you. So onto the interior, and there's even a lot more going on than the outside. It's very opulent on the inside. You've got these amazing seats that give you support everywhere you need, and they're heated, cooled, dynamic seats. If you don't know what dynamic seats are, I strongly suggest you try them. But essentially, as you go through corners, depending on which way your body wants to roll, that side rest will essentially sort of hug you to prevent you from rolling over in the seat. I really like the Range Rover Vogue, especially the new ones. The biggest issue I have with it is the seats are like sofas, and you can roll around in that car, which doesn't make for a pleasant drive. Where this gives you that both. You know, you've got that comfort, you've got that aggressive driving if you wanted a bit of it, especially around the corners, and then the seats are there to sort of hold you together. And I feel like a lot of luxurious cars don't quite do that. So it's got an air scarf as well, which is again good for really cold or warm days for a bit of cool air. Keyless start, so the key can stay in your pocket and you can start the engine and operate the car as normal. It's got Burmester sound system, really crisp sound, and again, in a car like that, almost essential. There's leather absolutely everywhere in this car, as you would expect. A car that cost in excess of £130,000. No expense was spared in terms of making it as luxurious as possible. Lots of chrome used as well, which I think goes quite well with the black theme. And some of the other features are the adaptive cruise control. It's got the steering button on the right hand side, which keeps it in lane, so it's sort of, you know, a two above cruise control, because you've got the adaptive, but it also will steer to keep you in lane. It's got the 360-degree camera. We talked about that. It's got the heads-up display as well, which is actually a feature I really prefer, especially on the roads these days with very sensitive cameras everywhere. So sometimes you can focus on the road and you can also see exactly the speed you're trying to do. The other thing about the interior that's worth mentioning is that the pan roof is quite big, so the passengers can enjoy it, but also the driver can also enjoy it, because some of the cars, the seats are so far forward, you can't really see the pan roof. And then at the back, you've got, you know, the very comfortable seats with lots of space between the two passengers. There's obviously only two seats at the back. They're also heated in the rear as well, and they get really nice speakers here with a Burma Star logo. The stitching is done in white, which again I think really complements the chrome in the black leather theme here. So driving this car, most people will probably see you from behind, and I think this is where you can really see that this car is an absolute weapon. You've got the quad AMG exhaust with a logo on each one of the exhaust outlets. You've got the badge in chrome as well, and it's the classic clean rear with the LED rear lights. So it's finished quite nicely. There's a bit of a lip on there's a bit of a spoiler essentially, but it's very, very subtle. It's not aggressive. And the rear window also has a slight tint on it as well.